This is Everyday Tension. Real stories based on real experiences about everyday conflicts people rarely talk about. This story was shared anonymously. If you'd like, you can support the channel by liking or subscribing and let me know in the comments where you're listening from. Here's what happened.
My son was born on a Tuesday. It was early in the morning, still dark out. I remember the clock on the wall said 4:17 a.m. They put him on my chest, and he was so much heavier than I thought he'd be. Warm. He didn't cry much, just looked around with these blurry, dark eyes. My husband, Mark, cried. I just felt tired, a good tired, but deep in my bones. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days. Everyone wants to come see you right away. My phone was buzzing non-stop. My mom, my sister, his mom, his sister. I put my phone on silent. Mark handled the texts. He told them we were resting, that we'd let everyone know when we were home and ready. I appreciated that. I needed the quiet, just the three of us in that little room, figuring out how to be a family. We got home on Thursday afternoon. The first night was terrifying. Every little noise he made, I was awake. I just watched his chest move up and down. Mark slept through most of it, snoring on his side of the bed. I didn't mind. Someone needed to be rested. The days blurred together. Feed, change, sleep for an hour if I was lucky, repeat. My mum came over and did laundry. My sister brought groceries. It was helpful, but it was also a lot of people in my space when I was leaking and sore and wearing the same sweatpants for 3 days. After about 3 weeks, I started to feel a little more human. The baby Leo was starting to have longer stretches at night. Not sleeping through the night, but a 3-hour chunk felt like a vacation. Mark went back to work. The house was quiet during the day, too quiet sometimes. I'd talk to Leo just to hear a voice. That's when I thought, maybe it was time. Time for the rest of the family to meet him. Mark's family. I'd been putting it off. Not for any big reason. It just felt like a production. His parents are nice enough, but they're formal. His brother Dave is okay, quiet like Mark. And then there's Dave's wife, Chloe, my sister-in-law. I've never known what to make of Chloe. We're not close. She's 5 years older than me. She and Dave have been married for 6 years. They started trying for a baby right away. I know that much. My mother-in-law mentioned it once, not long after Mark and I got married. She said it with a sigh, like it was a burden she was carrying for them. They're so hoping, she'd said. I just nodded. It wasn't my business. Mark and I got married 2 years ago. We talked about kids before we got married, the way you do. We both said maybe, someday, not right now. We were both working. We liked our life. We could sleep in on weekends. We could go out for dinner on a whim. Kids were a fuzzy idea in the future. Then I missed a period. I took a test, more out of habit than worry. It was positive. I sat on the edge of the bathtub for a long time, just holding the stick. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I was just shocked. I told Mark that night. He had the same look on his face. Shock. We ordered pizza and sat at the kitchen table and talked in circles. What would we do? Could we afford it? Were we ready? We decided to keep the pregnancy. It wasn't a joyful decision. Not like in the movies. It was a practical one. We were married, we had jobs, we owned our house. It was the logical next step, even if we hadn't planned on taking it so soon. We told the families. My family was thrilled. His family was too. His mother cried. Chloe hugged me and said congratulations, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. I figured she was just upset about her own situation. I felt bad for her, but I also felt awkward. Like my good fortune was a mirror held up to her bad luck. The pregnancy was fine, unremarkable. I was tired. Chloe would text me sometimes asking how I was feeling. She'd send links to articles about prenatal vitamins or safe sleeping. It felt overbearing, but I told myself she was just trying to be involved. She never talked about her own struggles. I never asked. It felt like a minefield. So, when I decided it was time for them to meet Leo, I felt a knot in my stomach. Not about his parents, really. About Chloe. I didn't know what to expect. I told Mark on a Friday, "Let's have your family over Sunday afternoon, just for an hour or two." He looked up from his phone. "Yeah? You feel up for it?" "I think so. I can't hide him forever." "Okay," he said. "I'll let them know." He texted the group chat. The replies came fast. His mum, "Can't wait. What can I bring?" His dad, "See you then." Dave, "We'll be there." Chloe, "Finally. So excited." The multiple exclamation points felt like a demand. Sunday came. I spent the morning trying to clean up a little, but Leo was fussy. He'd sleep for 20 minutes, then wake up crying. I'd finally get him settled, and then see another pile of burp cloths that needed washing. By the time 2 o'clock rolled around, I hadn't showered. I changed my shirt because the other one had spit up on it. I put my hair in a bun. That was as good as it was going to get. They all arrived at once, like a herd. His parents came in first, his mum holding a casserole dish, his dad with a bouquet of flowers from the grocery store. They were nice. They hugged me carefully. His mum's eyes went straight to the baby swing, where Leo was dozing. "Oh, let me see him," she whispered. Dave came in next, gave me a one-armed hug. "Hey, congrats." Then Chloe. She was carrying a huge gift bag, overflowing with tissue paper. She hugged me tight, too tight. "Oh my God, let me see him," she said, her voice loud after his mum's whisper. They all crowded around the swing. They hand her, they said at work, but they burst it back. Leo was sleeping, his little fists curled by his face. They made the usual comments. "He has Mark's nose. Look at all that hair. He's perfect." I stood back, letting them have their moment. Mark brought in drinks. After a few minutes, his mom and dad settled on the couch. Dave sat in the armchair. Chloe didn't sit down. She hovered by the swing. She reached in and adjusted the blanket around him. She touched his hand. He stirred but didn't wake. "He's just a dream," she said, not looking at me. "A perfect little dream." "Thanks," I said. The visit was normal for a while. His mom asked me about the birth. I gave her the short version. His dad talked to Mark about work. Dave scrolled on his phone. Chloe eventually sat on the floor right next to the swing, just watching him. Every now and then she'd reach out and stroke his foot. It was a little much, but I told myself it was fine. She's just excited to be an aunt. She loves babies. Then Leo started to fuss. He made that little rooting sound, turning his head side to side. I knew he was hungry. I got up from the chair I was in. "I think he's hungry," I said. "I'm going to feed him." I walked over to the swing. Chloe was already unbuckling the straps. "I've got him," she said, her voice cheerful. "That's okay, I can get him," I said. But she already had him in her arms, cradling him against her shoulder. She started patting his back. "Shh, shh. It's okay, Auntie Chloe's got you." I stood there, my arms feeling empty. "I need to feed him," I said again, my voice firmer. "Oh, he's okay for a minute," she said. She looked at me. "You know, you should try to stretch the time between feeds a little. It'll help him sleep longer at night. And are you burping him enough? Sometimes that fussiness is just gas." I felt a flash of heat in my face. "I've got it under control," I said. I reached for him. She turned her shoulder slightly, a small movement, but it kept Leo just out of my reach. "I'm just trying to help. I've read so much about it, you know, since we've been trying." Her smile was thin. "It's just, when you want something so badly, you learn everything you can." I just looked at her. Mark had stopped talking to his dad. He was watching us. "Chloe," I said, keeping my voice even. Give me my son. He's hungry. A flicker of something went across her face. Annoyance. Then she sighed and sort of handed him over, but not in a gentle way. It was more of a transfer. As I took him, she said, "Oh, someone who didn't even want kids has it all under control." The room went quiet. The only sound was Leo's soft whimpers. I felt like I'd been slapped. I clutched Leo closer. "Excuse me?" She shrugged, still with that fake smile. "Well, I was just thinking. I've been trying a little longer than you. And you weren't even all that sure you wanted this." She gestured vaguely at the baby in my arms. "Maybe I could take him off your hands. You know, if it's too much." For a second, I couldn't breathe. I heard Mark's dad say, "Chloe, for God's sake." I heard his mother make a shushing sound, but all I could see was Chloe's face, her head tilted, waiting for my reaction, like she just made a harmless little joke. "Get out," I said. The words came out flat, cold. "What?" She said, the smile finally fading. "Get out of my house," I said, louder. I was shaking. I turned and walked down the hall towards the nursery. I didn't look back. I heard Mark's voice, low and angry, and then Chloe's voice rising in defense. I shut the nursery door and sat in the rocking chair. I tried to feed Leo, but my hands were trembling so badly I could hardly get him positioned. He started to cry in earnest. I cried with him. I don't know how long I was in there. Maybe 10 minutes. I heard the front door shut, then silence. A few minutes later, there was a soft knock on the door. "It's me," Mark said. "Come in." He looked pale. He came over and knelt by the rocking chair. "They're gone. All of them. My parents too. They were embarrassed. They didn't know what to say." "What did you say to her?" I asked. I asked her what the hell she was thinking, why she would ever say something like that. And what did she say? Mark rubbed his face. He looked exhausted. She said it wasn't fair, that she's been trying for 3 years, that we didn't even want our son and we got pregnant so easily. She said it was a joke. A joke. I repeated it. It felt like a stone in my mouth. That's what she said. That's what my mom said too when they were leaving. She said she's hurting. She didn't mean it. It was just a bad joke. Mark looked up at me. I told her to never say anything like that again. Not around us, not around Leo, ever. "Do you believe her?" I asked. "That it was a joke?" He was quiet for a long time. Leo had finished eating and was asleep against my chest. "I don't know," Mark finally said. "I want to. She's my brother's wife." But the way she said it, it didn't sound like a joke. That night, after we put Leo down, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Chloe's face. I heard her voice. "Take him off your hands." I got up and checked the locks on the doors. I looked at the windows. Our house felt different. It felt exposed. The next morning, over coffee, I said to Mark, "I want cameras for the doors, and I want to change the locks." He didn't argue. He just nodded. "Okay. If that's what you need to feel safe, it is. I'll call someone today," he said. He did. The locks were changed by Tuesday. The camera for the front door arrived on Wednesday, and Mark installed it. It sends an alert to our phones anytime someone moves on the porch. I check it constantly. A delivery person, a neighbor walking their dog. Every alert makes my heart jump. I didn't hear from Chloe. Not a text, not a call. Nothing. Dave sent Mark a text on Monday, really sorry about Sunday. Chloe's upset. She knows she crossed the line. Mark showed it to me. He wrote back, she needs to apologize to my wife, directly. Dave didn't reply to that. Mark's mom called me on Tuesday evening. How are you, sweetie? How's the baby? We're fine, I said, my voice stiff. Listen, she said, her tone dipping into that soothing, placating register. About Sunday, Chloe feels just terrible. She's been crying for 2 days. She's under so much pressure with all the trying. She just sees you with that beautiful baby, and it hurts her. She didn't mean what she said. It was a poor attempt at humor. You know how grief can make people say strange things. I didn't say anything. I listened to the hum of the baby monitor. She's family. His mum pressed on. We have to forgive family. We have to be understanding. Do we? I asked. It came out quieter than I meant. She sighed, a long, patient sigh. You're a mother now. You'll understand how you want people to forgive your child's mistakes someday. Please, just think about it. Don't shut her out. She loves Leo already. She doesn't even know him, I said, and hung up. I felt bad about hanging up. For about 5 minutes, then the anger came back. The fear. It wasn't grief that made her say it. It was entitlement. She felt entitled to my child because she wanted one and I had one. That's what it was. It wasn't a joke. Who jokes about that? Mark supported me. He didn't push me to make up. He fielded the calls from his family. He told them I needed space, that the comment was serious and we were taking it seriously. His dad seemed to get it. His mom kept trying to smooth it over. Dave was silent. A week went by, then 2. Life settled into a new rhythm, but with this cold, hard knot in the middle of it. The knot was Chloe. The things she said, the fact that she was out there, my sister-in-law, and I never wanted to see her again. I thought about it all the time. While I was feeding Leo at 3 a.m., while I was walking him around the living room to get him to nap, I turned her words over and over. Take him off your hands. It played in my head, like a loop. Sometimes I'd imagine different, worse scenarios. What if I'd gone to the bathroom and left Leo with her for a minute? What if she'd asked to babysit someday? The thoughts made me feel sick. Mark's parents asked to visit again, just the 2 of them. I said okay. They came over the next Saturday. They were on their best behavior. They didn't mention Chloe. They brought food and oohed and ahed over Leo. But it was strained. His mum kept giving me these searching looks, like she was trying to see if I'd softened. When she held Leo, she held him a little too tightly, like she was afraid I'd snatch him back. Maybe I would have. I watched her like a hawk. After they left, I felt drained. It was exhausting, being on guard like that. That night, I said to Mark, she's not allowed around him, not for a long time, maybe never. He was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Okay, I mean it. Not at family holidays, not for birthdays. Not unless we're both right there, and even then, I said, okay, he said, turning to look at me. I get it. I'm not arguing. Your mum thinks I'm overreacting. I don't care what my mum thinks, he said. It was the sharpest I'd ever heard him speak about his mother. She didn't hear it. I did. You're his mother. You make the rules. His support should have made me feel better, but it just made the whole thing feel more real, more serious. If he was this firm, then it really was as bad as I thought. The months went by. Leo got bigger. He smiled. He rolled over. He found his feet. Every milestone felt like a little victory in our own private world, a world I was fiercely protective of. I joined a mum's group that made small talk about sleep schedules and diaper brands. I never mentioned Chloe. It was my secret wound. I saw her once, from a distance. It was at the end of October. Mark's parents were having a small birthday dinner for his dad. They begged us to come. They promised it would just be them. They promised Chloe and Dave wouldn't be there. We went, reluctantly. We were in the living room, Leo on a blanket on the floor. I heard a car door shut outside. I looked out the window. It was Dave's car. Chloe was getting out of the passenger side. She had a present in her hands. My whole body went cold. "Mark," I said. He looked out the window. His face darkened. He stood up and went into the kitchen where his parents were. I could hear his voice, low and furious. "You said they weren't coming." His mother's voice, flustered. "They insisted! It's his father's birthday! What was I supposed to do?" "You were supposed to keep your word," Mark said. I didn't wait. I scooped Leo up, gathered the diaper bag, and walked out the front door. I passed Chloe on the walkway. She had stopped, her eyes wide. "Hey," she said. We just wanted to..." I didn't look at her. I didn't stop. I put Leo in his car seat, got in the driver's seat, and left. Mark called me 5 minutes later. He was back at our house 20 minutes after that. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't know." "I know you didn't," I said. But the trust with his parents was broken after that. They had chosen to force a confrontation, to hope that proximity would fix things. It did the opposite. Thanksgiving was quiet. Just me, Mark, and Leo. My family lived too far to visit. His parents invited us, but we said no. We knew who would be there. We ate a small turkey breast and watched movies. It was actually nice. Peaceful. In December, I got a text. It was from a number I didn't recognize, but I knew who it was. "I am so sorry for what I said. It was unforgivable. I was in a bad place and I took it out on you. I hope one day you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I love Leo, and I would never do anything to hurt him or you. I miss my brother. Please don't shut us out forever. Chloe." I read it 5 times. I didn't feel relief. I felt nothing. The words seemed empty. "In a bad place. Took it out on you." It was an explanation, but it wasn't the one I needed. I needed her to say, "I was wrong to think I had any claim to your child. I was wrong to say something so threatening. I understand why you are afraid of me." She didn't say that. I didn't reply. Mark got a similar text. He showed it to me. He hadn't replied either. "Are you going to?" I asked. "I don't know what to say," he admitted. "It's okay" is a lie. It's not okay, but just ignoring it feels, I don't know. In the end, he texted back, "Thank you for the apology. We need time." That was 2 months ago. We haven't seen them since. Dave has reached out to Mark a few times, just to talk about sports or work. Mark keeps the conversations short. The family text chat is dead silent. His mom calls me once a month, always talking fast about nothing important, always ending with, "We'd love to see you all soon." I always say, "We'll see," and change the subject. Leo is 7 months old now. He's starting to crawl. He gets into everything. I baby-proofed the house. Outlet covers, cabinet locks, a gate for the stairs. It's a different kind of protection. The cameras are still on the doors. I still check them. I still look over my shoulder sometimes when I'm getting the mail. Not because I've seen anything, but because the feeling is still there. The feeling that started the moment she turned her shoulder, keeping my son from me. I think about the future. Family weddings, funerals, Leo's first birthday party. How do we navigate that? Do we invite them? If we don't, it's a war. If we do, I have to see her. I have to watch her look at my son. I don't know the answer. Mark and I don't talk about it much anymore. It's a settled fact, like a rock in our shoe. We've learned to walk with the discomfort. Sometimes when Leo is sleeping and the house is quiet, I'll think about what she said. Take him off your hands. And I'll look at my son, his chest rising and falling, his eyelashes so dark against his cheeks, and I'll feel a surge of something so fierce it scares me. It's not just love. It's a boundary, a wall, a promise. He's mine. I didn't know I wanted him until I had him, but he's mine. And no one, not a sister-in-law, not a grandparent, not anyone, gets to make a joke about taking him away. It wasn't a joke. I know it. She knows it. And that's the thing that sits between us now, and probably always will. A quiet, cold space where family used to be.